You know that big, mysterious tank that might be sitting in your basement? The one you have to lug those giant bags of salt to? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that thing, the water softener. We're going to dive into the really cool science of how they actually get the job done.
So let me ask you a question, and it might sound a little weird. Is your water working against you? I mean, every time you turn on the faucet, is the water helping you get clean, or is it actually the secret reason your glasses are always spotty and your skin feels kind of dry? The answer might surprise you.
Does any of this look familiar? Those cloudy spots on your supposedly clean dishes? That chalky film that builds up on your shower door no matter how much you scrub? Or that feeling like your towels are just permanently stiff? Yep, these are all the classic signs of a super common problem. Okay, so let's officially name our villain. We're going to break down exactly what's causing all this everyday frustration. It all comes down to one thing: hard water. Now, hard water isn't dirty or anything like that. It's just packed. It's full of extra minerals. You see, as rainwater makes its way through the ground, it acts like a sponge, picking up all these little bits of rock, chalk, and limestone. And this loads the water up with dissolved minerals, mostly calcium and magnesium. To really get what's going on, we have to zoom way in, down to the microscopic level. These minerals float around in the water as ions, which are just tiny particles with an electrical charge. Think of these calcium and magnesium ions as little troublemakers. Their positive charge makes them super sticky, so they cling to everything: your pipes, your coffee maker, and especially your soap, turning it into that gross, filmy scum instead of a nice, rich lather. But, where there's a villain, there's gotta be a hero. And in this story, our hero is a really clever process that happens right inside that water softener tank. So, let's meet the ion exchanger. The science that completely solves this hard water problem is called ion exchange. And yeah, it sounds kind of complex, but the idea behind it is actually incredibly simple and, well, elegant. It doesn't just filter these minerals out, it actually trades them for something much better. Here's my favorite way to think about it. Imagine the water softener is like a super exclusive nightclub with a really strict bouncer at the door. The calcium and magnesium ions are troublemakers, roll up trying to get in. The bouncer says, sure, you can come in, but you have to trade places with one of our calm, well-behaved guests already inside. And those guests are sodium ions. So let's go inside the club. Let's peek behind the velvet rope and see this trade-off happen in real time. Welcome to what I like to call the Great Ion Swap. Okay, here's the play-by-play. First, your home's hard water gets routed into the softener tank. Inside, it flows through a bed of thousands and thousands of tiny little things called resin beads. Now, these beads are the key. They start out completely covered in those well-behaved sodium ions. But, and this is the cool part, the troublemaker calcium and magnesium ions have a stronger electrical charge, which makes them way more attractive to the beads. So they literally come in, knock the sodium ions off, and take their place. The sodium gets released into the water, and just like that, soft water flows out to the rest of your house. And look at this. This table really shows the complete transformation. Before, the water is loaded with calcium and magnesium. After the swap, that profile is totally flipped. The troublemakers are captured, and they're replaced by a bit more sodium. The actual chemistry of your water has been changed for the better. So, this whole process works incredibly well, but it probably brings up a pretty logical question, right? What happens when all those little beads are full of troublemakers and there's no more sodium to trade? Well, the system needs to recharge. Over time, those resin beads get completely saturated with all the calcium and magnesium they've grabbed. They've got no more sodium ions left to trade. So is it game over? Do you have to get a whole new softener? Nope, not at all. This is where the magic of regeneration comes in. And this is why you're always buying those heavy bags of salt. Every so often, the system kicks into a regeneration cycle. It flushes itself with a super concentrated saltwater solution called brine. It's basically a tidal wave of sodium ions that's so overwhelming it forces the captured calcium and magnesium to let go of the beads. All those hard minerals get washed away and flushed right down the drain. And just like that, the resin beads are covered in fresh sodium ions again, fully recharged and ready to get back to work. All right, so we've diagnosed the problem and we've seen how the system fixes it and recharges itself. Now for the best part. Let's connect all this science back to the real-world benefits that you can actually see and feel every day. This is a big one. Because soft water doesn't have those sticky minerals getting in the way, your soap can actually do its job. You get this amazing, rich lather with just a fraction of the product. This chart shows it perfectly. You could cut your spending on soap, detergent, and shampoo by up to half. That's a real, measurable benefit right in your wallet. And this is where it all comes full circle. Remember those annoying problems from the beginning? The spotty dishes? Gone. The soap scum? History. Your appliances, now free from that mineral buildup, run more efficiently and just plain last longer. Your laundry feels softer and your skin and hair feel cleaner than ever. Every single one of those problems is solved by that simple, elegant ion swap. So, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. A little bit of clever chemistry can completely transform something as fundamental as the water we use every day. And it kind of makes you wonder, if we can solve a problem that's literally flowing through our walls, what other invisible everyday frustrations could we re-engineer for a better, more efficient life? Definitely something to think about.